Hi, my name is Fred Newman. I'm the owner of the View Camera Store, and today I'd like to talk about the new DLC-2. Keith Canham has improved some of the features on this camera, and I'd like to talk about the camera and the new features. Just like before, opening up all the metal cameras, you loosen the two knobs for the rear standard. These little T-knobs, I call them. Just pick it all the way up, and it does, just like before, catch in the indent to make it vertical. So therefore this and this is square. Now I like to let out a little bit of bellows whenever opening the camera. And you'll notice the little bars here now, so you can't overlock the focusing. So we're just going to move it out a little bit. I like about a hand width, lock it down. And now you're just going to pick this up, slide this all the way to the back, pick this all the way up. Then let's lock this down. And again, the front, just like the rear standard, catches on a detent. These detents feel more solid than the old camera. And let's just like before, you got the two little bars that fit in the groove. So let me just put those in. Okay, so this is set. And you'll notice there's a little tiny line, little tiny white line here. That centers your front lens board on the front standard. So lock it down. Lock down both sides of these. Now put this back to neutral. Okay, lock it down. Okay, now you'll notice in the front here there's two knobs and a little bar here. This bar here is for your swing. And you'll see the little line here. So let's just lock this down. So if you do any shift, this line gets you back to neutral again. And it's exactly the same on the rear standard. There's a little bar here, little lines, and again the swing. So let's lock it down. And again, you got these two knobs here for your shift. And you just line it up with the little line so that these two lines match, so you're locked in. Okay, now on the front and rear standard, you have the exact same thing. You've got base tilt. And the same exactly on the rear standard. Okay, and on the front you've got your rise and fall. And again, you've got your little line actually on the outside and on the inside of each side. So it doesn't matter whether you're left-handed or right-handed. Now, one of the features I really like about this camera compared to most cameras is there's a little lever right here, locking lever for moving the rear standard. And you can slide the rear standard forward. And the advantage of this is you can work with extremely wide angle lenses. So as I slide this forward with a flat lens board, this works with a 58mm super angulon. So you can go from very wide angle lenses with this. The advantage is it's made of aluminum, so it's a thinner piece, so the front and rear standards can get closer. And if you're going to do that, you're going to want a wide angle bellows. This camera does have interchangeable bellows. One thing I always like to emphasize with the Canham cameras, there's a lock on the top and the bottom for your lens board. So you have to slide the top piece this way, the bottom piece this way. When you put your lens board in, you notice the little logo, so you got it correct. Lock the top and lock the bottom. If you're coming from a camera that has only a top lock, you have to remember this because otherwise your lens might fall out. So always remember, lock the bottom, lock the top. Now it's exactly the same on the back if you want to change this from horizontal to a vertical. And again, you got a lock on the top and a lock on the bottom. So if you want to do a vertical from horizontal, lock the top, hold it in place, lock the bottom. Or if the sun's coming in from this way and you want to do a horizontal, you'll want to flip it this way so that you put it in place here. Okay. Lock top, lock them both. This way your film holder goes in from this side, so if the sun comes here, you won't get any light leaks. Now, as I said, one of the real advantages of these cameras, you'll notice there's two little locking levers, one in the front by the front standard, one in the rear by the rear standard. These can give you a little bit extra bellows if you need it. And there's also a little bar here so that you can't overdo these and break the knob. So this is one of the new additions, this little bar here, little bars on the focusing. I'll show you that in a minute. And again, on this side, the same thing. If you need a little extra bellows, you could slide this out. And there's a little bar here so you can't over tighten it. Now for racking out the front standard, you've got this little locking lever here. And for the rear, we've got this side right here. And if you need, this little tab is if your bellows droop, there's a couple little Velcro tabs on the bellows to catch with this tab here. Now, this, as I said before, this camera can go from a 58mm Super Angulon XL when you slide the back towards the front, and when you rack it out all the way, this camera will go with the 450, like let's say a 450 Fuji lens, the f12.5. Now let's put the camera back to neutral. So first I'll rack out the back, put it back to neutral here. And you can do it just by feel. You'll see it right here. Then lock it down. And the same in the front. Okay, now, one thing, this camera does come with interchangeable bellows. So let me take the back off for a second. And be careful, this is a Fresnel, so whenever you put it down, be careful on the surface so you don't scratch it. Now the bellows comes off real simply from the rear. And you'll notice there's little bars here that it rests on. If by some chance you have it, oh, you can't do it now, he fixed it. Aha! I just had a surprise here. Keith made a solid piece here. Before, you could catch the bellows, the frame for the bellows underneath here. Now it's a solid piece, so you can't make that mistake anymore. Before, you were able to have the bellows under this and you get a light leak. He fixed that, so you can't do that. That's very exciting. So it's a whole new piece there. Okay, so the back comes off there. There's a little bar on the front here to take the bellows off. Just pull it out. Actually, it's easy without a lens board. Okay, so let me get the bellows off here. Okay, now they're off. So this camera can work with interchangeable bellows. There's a wide angle bellows for this. Now you can see this a little bit better. You can see the little bar here and the whole frame. I'll put the bellows back. The easy way to tell when you're replacing the bellows is the Velcro goes on top. So just put it in the back. Put the rear on. And then this goes in little corners right here. And then just slide this back down and it's back in place. Okay, so that's most of the features here. One of the other new features you'll see is there's a bubble level here and a bubble level here. Before they were on the top, so you had to sort of stretch up and look down. The one on the front, it's okay because it's a little bit shorter. There's still the little circle bellows here, but this makes it a lot easier on the rear standard, having these two right here. Okay, now I'll show you how to close the camera up. First you want to rack it out about a hand width so we don't scratch the bellows. Okay, now the first thing you want to make sure that the locking bars for the lens board are in the lock position. Okay, now that's set. Next we want to loosen these two for the tilt, and you want to loosen these two knobs for the rise and fall. Push this up, and you want to slide the bars up and in. Okay, so this one's set, and this one up and in. Sometimes they're a little tight. Oh, I had the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're set. Now you want to have the front standard facing down. And now we'll rack it in. And it goes right in place here. Lock this down. Lock these, and now you're all set. I hope that helps. I'll take a few close-ups so you can see some of the other pictures of the new features. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video of the new improved Canham DLC-2. If you do have questions, you can call me or email me if you need any help. Thank you again. Bye.